So I have made the video in a while and uploaded it. It's not being deterred or anything, despite all these morons still following me around. But this is going to be kind of ongoing, realistically, for the rest of my life. Like I could have ran away with my tail between my legs fucking 11 years ago, because that's how long this is going on for me. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't. I could leave and take my wife and my daughter away. Do you hear that? That's the shit kind of every time I make a video. I'm not sure if you heard it. See, that's the shit that goes on. But I'll keep talking through. But I could have left, taking my wife and my daughter with me, and left her mother behind. Do you know what I mean? Take the child away from her grandmother. So that wasn't an option. Do you know what I mean? I'd never do that in a million years. I could try and learn to live with all this and accept all the stuff that was done to me family, me mother, and like myself, and my relationship with my kids. Sorry, that this is the shit that goes on. Just every time I make these videos, this clown up over me, he puts it up online, and every time I go out or anything, it's all put up. So it stops. It's all put up online, and this is what goes on. This gang stalking thing. I know this all sounds crazy now. Do you know what I mean? But like there's loads of people who verify this is what's been done. But that whole situation with this clown up over me, I'll explain that another day. So I just wanted to say I was aware, right, of the pressure that's had to been put on girls. Now, I don't want to seem like I'm trying to push people into kind of doing things, because I'm not. Do you know what I mean? This is entirely up to yourself. It's these people are putting pressure on you not to fucking tell the truth. Do you know what I mean? You came to me. I've never asked you to lie or embellish the truth. Do you know what I mean? I haven't even asked you to fucking speak the truth. Do you know what I mean? It's entirely up to yourselves. But you should acknowledge who's putting pressure on who. And this doesn't go for everyone, because I know there's a majority who are willing to kind of stand your ground, fair dues to you. And I know there's others there now are pushed off the pot. And you have to take into account, see the whole Halligan situation, right? Think of the network of each of them. Do you know what I mean? You have Ray Halligan, you have Brendan Halligan, you have Mary Halligan, you have fucking Henry Halligan, you have John Halligan. Now, as we know, John Halligan received the most votes in Waterford. As we know, David Connan is forever going fucking on about it. But David Connan received the most votes using the same network John Halligan used. Now, we all know John Halligan didn't really receive the most votes. A lot of them votes were by default, let's be honest about it. They were passed on over the passing away of somebody else, which had nothing to do with any of this situation. But then just pointing out, the people of Waterford would not vote in John Halligan based on the actions of his fucking family, which have been for years covered up. Now I'm saying this and I'm putting it out there so you can bring me to court when you push that through up in children's grouping, which you're going to, because the one thing you're not going to do is get a conviction where you can hold a commission of investigation, and we'll have the whole lot of it looked into. And we'd have the whole lot of it looked into. Do you know what I mean? And more importantly, how many actual allegations were made? Do you know what I mean? Who knew about it? Who covered it up? Do you know what I mean? There's loads of shit going on about there. This whole situation, right, with them and me, this began when Henry Halligan interfered in my mother's funeral, scumbag that he is. But they tried to clean up their tarnished reputation based on all that kind of sexual stuff that was going on up in the charity, right? And they basically tried to use this to clean up their reputation. And the majority of people at Waterford would accept their shit, do you know what I mean? I won't accept their shit, it's as simple as that. But you have to kind of but it needs to be notified. How do you expect any victims to really come forward? Do you know what I mean? Look at the shit that I'm going through. Do you know what I mean? Now I understand it, this is kind of partly my own doing, and I'm going to see it out one way or the other. It is what it is. I've accepted it to be the cost of what I have to pay for standing up for myself and for my family, and I'll always do this. The people I spoke about in Sinn Féin or in Waterford Freewheelers or any other groups, they were it's warranted. I gave the name of the person. I spoke about their actions involved in this. So let's not fucking sugarcoat Waterford Freewheelers, fucking assistants of Waterford Council, who are assisting all this shit up in children's grouping, with their assistance of David Connan, remember? Because you hardly think David Connan got in with his fucking charisma. Do you know what I mean? This is why the same network that John Halligan was used to push David Connan in. And this is why Henry Halligan passed private emails back to David Connan, was to keep David Connan on side for future references when they needed him for more pressing matters, let's just put it that way. But I want to talk about another situation there now. And I just want to point out, I know there's a load of like shite going around her, like, and I know I'm being followed from A to B, like, but this is the level of what you get. Cowards roam in fucking gangs. This is all they are. They're cowards. Don't be pushed off the pop by these people. But I wanted to point out a situation, right? There was an individual, right? There was a certain, how would I say, there was a certain situation that people tried to bring up years ago. I'm going back now, fucking 30 odd years ago here, and then again 30 years ago, and then 20 odd years ago, right? And Waterford Gardaí was aware of this. Now they'll say there was no charges brought and everything because fucking certain people pull strings to make sure there'd be no charges brought. This is the ongoing fucking issue, let's be honest about it. But this person, at the very least, he should have been red flagged to be up around minors. Now that's just an obvious statement, is it not? So like someone needs to ask the question, why was he up around children's group link? Did Waterford Gardaí fail to notify Tussle and fucking children's group link? Or did they notify him and they still stuck him around the fucking children up there? Let's be honest about it. These are normal questions, you know what I mean? Like, and I know I don't come across saying it because I use too much bad language. And there's times I probably come across like I'm kind of irate or angry. I am. Do you know what I mean? Look what was that been done to me family, me life, me mother. Like all of this has been not just put on me, it's been put on me family. It's been put on me extended family. It's been put on me mother-in-law. It was put on to me mother. Do I not think that it's not going to be put on to me daughter? Of course it will. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not running from this, and I'll fight tooth and fucking nail to expose this. Do you know what I mean? And it's a long time that Halligans got called out up in the fucking that children's group link. And when this all blows over, and I don't mean for me, because this will never blow over for me, but when you push your bullshit through court, which is what you're going to do, because you've been doing it for 30 odd years, you're welcome to bring me to court, because whether I'm the defendant or the plaintiff, it all rests on one thing, whether or not I can prove what I'm saying is true, and whether or not you can prove what I'm saying is untrue. So we'll all look forward to that. Now, I'm talking a bit quick here now, because the algorithm's not sharing fucking me longer videos, being honest with you. I'm trying to squeeze the two of these into two 10-minute videos. So if you can follow any of the videos or share them, I'd appreciate it. There's a huge drive. I spoke about recently over the last couple of months. Waterford freewheelers use their extended reach up and down Ireland to contact other motorcycle clubs and have this kind of centre around everywhere. It's the same stuff that Sinn Féin done. There's other groups, do you know what I mean? And people are supposed to be like in fear of these fucking people. These people need to be called out. The whole stigma, right, behind certain groups' involvement throwing the fucking weight around. There's a reason why none of these go to prison week in, week out. There's a fucking reason. So I was going to talk Monday, today's Wednesday, I was going to talk Monday about my ex. My ex is an absolute poisonous humour. I've never in my life met anyone so dangerous. Now, I was warned of this, people in Dublin, because I met her in rehab, they told me, they said, stay the fuck away from her. And then the trainers and the counsellors in rehab, again, they caught me aside, told me to stay away from her. The lack of empathy was a serious issue. Then we ended up in kind of drug counselling from 2012 to, no, 2011, 2012. Now, I know she's lied on podcast. She's out there saying she's 14 years clean. She was down here bringing down heroin. She was bringing down heroin and coke. We were both taking the cocaine. I had no fucking knowledge of the heroin. I only found out when they started ringing me looking for money. And my point about this is she's now after passing this Hair Together program, right? She's getting all kinds of funding from it, right? That program was originally my tattoo idea. I was going to open a tattoo school. It was supposed to be based at disadvantaged youths, and they were going to be linked in with kind of like case workers and and it was to be funded by, they could get grants from the social welfare and stuff. Now this is identical to what she's spinning there now, but the only difference is, right, she took out tattooing. No, sorry, I'm jumping the gun here. She came down here first and spread all her sexual shit, right? And ruined my business, basically. And then she went away and she started this. In 2020, she started this. This is by her own admission that she started this in 2020. And it's virtually the same. And I couldn't really do it because she could have just said, well, it's just similar, do you know what I mean? Except hers was hairdressing. I'm a tattooist. But then in 2022, she appeared on that podcast, the Two Norries podcast. That has since been kind of disbanded over the kind of unethical fucking foolishness of the whole show, let's be honest about it. But she was on that and she knew she was going into tattooing. Now the reason she done that is because she's just a nasty kind of, I can't have anything with this person. She destroyed my relationship with my daughter. She had to destroy fucking multiple funerals, my character. Anyone that has any kind of contact with this person will tell you. Besides all the fake fucking shit that she's doing on kind of like all these social media interviews and stuff, that's all fake. If she was anything like she portrays, right, she wouldn't have tried to ruin my wedding in 2019. She wouldn't have brought me to court a year ago. She wouldn't have broke all the fucking court orders that was issued in court. There was a court order made where she was supposed to give me back photographs of my father who had passed away. She couldn't even do that. That's how nasty this human being is. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I find it a bitter pill to swallow that I have to listen to her talking about her idea and how great this idea is. She's been backed by Tusla, by Dr. Anne Carey. And I'll talk about Dr. Anne Carey soon enough. And I'll show you how this all started with her. And me ex was cutting the back off her mother. This was the same in rehab, cutting the back off her mother. When we were in couples counselling for fucking drugs, it was the same. She was cutting the back off her mother. Do you know what I mean? You go on to the interview on the two Norries, you'll see she's on it again, cutting the back off her mother, because it always have to be somebody else's fucking fault. Because she won't ever acknowledge, do you know what I mean, her own fucking misgivings. Anyone else would have been, well, I'd like to give something back, do you know what I mean? She's on this fucking podcast, it's episode 124, right? And you can hear her, and she coming to life, like, when she talking about the stuff that she got away with, and she's boasting about the stuff she got away with and the stuff she used to do, you know what I mean? This is a person that calls herself the master manipulator. She is. She's deadly dangerous. But my point being, I was going to kind of upload some stuff there Monday. I got back some emails. I know this happened to me before. I got back some more emails, a lot more emails, to be honest with you. And some of those emails, they contain messages regarding Roisin Doherty, which was after being removed from my file from Waterford Council. And this is the woman that got caught searching my mother's bedroom. Her and Leo Kennedy got caught searching my mother's bedroom in 2017. This was covered up by Joe Daniels of Waterford City Council with his fucking friendship with certain members of Sinn Féin. Now this is like, there's loads of documentation around this. I'm still trying to get this kind of looked into, obviously. But yeah, I found loads of emails. There's too many of them to go into there now because I have to kind of read through them all, being honest with you. But in some of the emails, I'm referring to Roisin Doherty and what was covered up basically, and kind of, she was actually ignored 20 emails she tried to ignore me for, Roisin Doherty. And I will read all these emails, just not at a not now because I don't have the time. But also in that, I started to find other emails regarding me startup business, because I obviously would have had to have a proposal. Do you know what I mean? I had to get like 3 kind of different quotes for each thing I was using, each insurance, equipment and all. I had to get 3, so I had to put a whole business plan together. But not only that, I registered my business in 2018. I registered with CRO, which is the company registration. And yeah, so my business is 2018, the exact same business that she destroyed, and now she's passing it off that she started in 2020. So I'm not really sure legally where I stand on this, so I'm going to look into it further, and that's why I didn't really kind of upload stuff. But I'm going to, because I think people need to know how much of a dangerous narcissistic liar this person is. And at the end of the day, you're all aware of the stuff that she spread around. In order of spreading that around, right, she dropped her kids down for a sleepover. So either there is truth in what she's saying, right, and she endangered her own kids, right, or there's no truth in what she's saying and she dropped the kids down. So it's one or the other, like. It's not fucking both, is it? But that'll give you an idea of this kind of person. And I will get back to this there now, because I'm planning on kind of like, I am going to talk about all of this, and as embarrassing as it is, as it already is, it's going to get a whole lot more embarrassing for me. Like, this is not something that I want to do. This is something that I'm forced into doing. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not going to like be subjected to this kind of like shit. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to run away like I'm fucking guilty of something. I'm not going to bring my wife and my daughter away from their grandmother. Do you know what I mean? So I'll see this out. I was writing another kind of situation there. As you know, I uploaded, there was a journalist involved that was going to look in finally into the whole Halligan stuff. And what was up with them is they couldn't manipulate or influence that situation, because they've been doing this 30 odd years with the help of Waterford Gardaí. What do you think they're down driving around my fucking apartment? They don't want it coming out. They're failures. You think it's a coincidence that it's the same Garda station as the Bill Keneally case? How much of what I've said through all these videos is untrue? Ask yourself that. You don't need to comment on it. You don't need to fucking speak to anyone else. You all know what I'm saying is true. And you can spread all this, see all this sex shit that was spread, right? That was manufactured. Most of it was manufactured, not all of it. Some of that was manufactured, some of it wasn't, right? I don't really fucking know, because no one will report it to have it investigated, strangely enough. Now I'm looking for it to be reported so we can have it investigated. Would that not make sense? Well, they wave this in your face. It's not a smoke screen, is all it is. Do you know what I mean? Just like children's group being called the Mary Halligan Foundation. Do you know what I mean? That was a smoke screen. I've spoken to someone recently, and I'm not going to get into details, but on one side of the picture, it was a picture up in Children's Group League, and on one side of the picture, you have someone there that was abusing boys, right? And on the other side of the picture there, you have a prolific fucking groomer on the other side of the picture, right? Between all the kids, you have a woman there, and she's privy to both these two people's actions. And then next to her is another woman who's privy to this. And I'll talk a little bit more than this. I won't go too further into it. But I used to work up in Children's Group Link. I was a building job, and then I got transferred to another builder after. It's a long story, but I was only building up there. And one day, certain the person, and here he was, and he following the girl around. She's about 14, and he tiddling her, following her in, following her out. He fucking wouldn't leave her alone. Now all the other builders, everyone was watching this because it was that late. Everyone was watching it. And Mary Halligan and this other woman there, and she there standing there, and she fucking dogging him out of it, trying to catch his attention because she knew that we were all looking at this. Do you know what I mean? And she kept trying to clear her throat. But your man was like a fucking kid in the fucking. Your man was like a child in a fucking sweet shop, running around, chasing her in, chasing her out. Now I know afterwards that the whole kind of bringing you off for spins and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into that because there's loads of other people. It's the same situation. Don't think I'm speaking directly to anyone because I'm not. But I'm just talking about that situation. That's the stuff that was going on up there. That's one incident of the stuff. That's one incident of the stuff. And everyone thinks I'm talking about the ongoing court case stuff that's going on up there. I'm actually talking about another person and another situation. And the only thing that they have in common is it was the same people covered for him as what covered for the other person. And then those people went on to fucking commit the same acts again and again. And eventually they got rid of one of them. They got rid of one of them because it was bad for business. People were starting to talk about like what he was getting up to through the years. So they got rid of one of them. But the second person, rather than getting rid of him, they promoted him. Do you know what I mean? So I like to think like what I'm saying is serious. What they're saying about me is serious. Why is there no investigation? Yeah, so like there's a whole kind of like situation with this. It's not just that sexual shit they're going around spreading about me. Do you know what I mean? Those girls came to me after Henry Halligan interfered in my mother's funeral in 2021. This for me is going on since 2013. Do you know what I mean? I left that religion thing in 2014. I was recruited into it, myself, my ex and the kids, by a psychologist employed by Waterford fucking Tussle and Carrie. And her husband, Pat Carey, also a psychologist, except this woman had involvement with a previous case of inappropriate sexual kind of conduct with a minor. And I was there as a support witness, so she should have never been anywhere near my family. But that's a whole story in itself. And that's where these dopes follow me around. Like, it is what it is. Like, fucking everyone has the kind of hooks and everyone else. That doesn't really bother. But it speaks volumes that you're bringing your fucking kids around. Do you know what I mean? That speaks fucking volumes. Why don't you go up to Children's Group Link? There's a shortage of numbers up there. Join your kids up there. Why not? No? Something else I just want to talk about there. Obviously, we know there's a journalist that wanted to look into the situation. Like, you can bring a horse to water. You can't make the horse drink, as they say. But, like, at the end of the day, like, it's up to themselves if they want to take this further now. At the end of the day. But I'm not letting go of fucking Henry Halligan's actions in the story. But I was in touch with another journalist. Now I'm going to talk about this. Nobody needs to know the name. This is strictly privately. I had to change my whole fucking internet, being honest with you, to kind of to correspond privately. And I've been getting up at all kind of crazy hours the last couple of weeks there, writing this stuff down. And I just had to read the synopsis. And the synopsis of this stuff is just crazy. Only for this documentation to prove what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. And kind of... And it highlights just how fucked up this all is, to be honest with you. But obviously, this needs to be taken out through a court. It needs to be presented in front of a judge for a preliminary hearing, just to see if I got a case. That's all, just to see if I got a case. But for some reason, they won't even let me get that far. Do you know what I mean? Because nobody wants to see the evidence. So I'll leave it there for now, and I'll be back kind of sooner rather than later. Thanks.